Welcome to NovelBot. This is the audiobook of Rebirth of a Genius. Creator Destroyer Chapter 2830. Sam took a nap for an hour and woke up. He saw that all the people assembled together while some people stood facing them. Sam saw them and recognized them as some of the elders of the Starwood Academy. Sam slowly moved towards the group as they are still settling. After some moments, the elder in the lead spoke. As you all heard from the announcement earlier, this time the assessment is to compete with your seniors in the school. The seniors will be at the maximum cultivation level of the late-stage acolyte. The aim of the battle is to take away the golden sphere of the other team in their base on the other side, and merge it with your silver sphere. Or you can eliminate all the other people from their team to win directly. This time you can use rank 2 weapons, but the inscribed weapons are still prohibited to bring from outside. Everything in the testing ground is yours to use. The test will continue until the day changes, and by the time limit is over, and neither team's completed the objective, the team with the most people wins. As I already told, use your time wisely. If you are in danger, you can escape by breaking the token. As the announcement said earlier, you will receive our help in critical times, but we might be late. I have never seen or heard about the victory of the freshmen. The best outcome is that the freshmen prove themselves by eliminating as many seniors as possible. All the best. The elder finished and the elders beside him started distributing the tokens. This time the tokens are in silver color. Every candidate of the opposite team is worth 1 point. And the one with the most points will be ranked higher, which will be individual ranking of the round. They will be the overall ranking, which will be assessed later. There will be rewards for every rank. The elder continued after the distribution of the tokens. Then a screen and a platform appeared. There is a silver sphere on the platform, and all the names of the candidates can be seen on the screen. When everyone looked at the name of the first ranker, they looked towards Sam, as they wanted to etch his name and face inside their minds. The third round assessment begins. The elder said and left with the other elders. After the elders left, all the people looked at each other as they were confused on how to proceed further. Sam just shook his head and went to the backside of the crowd and sat down as he leaned against the wall. We need to select a leader. Someone said from the group. I agree. But the question is, who should be the leader? As soon as he finished, everyone looked at Sam involuntarily and then immediately rejected the idea. Then they looked at the ranking list and were thinking, who should be the leader? Then suddenly Harry walked to the front and faced the crowd as he said, I am Harry from the City Lord Mansion. The City Lord of the Starwood City is my father. So, I would like to take the position of the leader. When everyone heard this, they exchanged looks for a brief moment and agreed. Even the nobles didn't have any objections. There are not many nobles left to begin with. Only the people from Evergreen family and the people from the City Lord Mansion were left, and they both don't have any objections. When everyone showed their approval, Harry felt satisfied with himself, and gave Sam a proud look as if he defeated him. But Sam paid little attention to the whole thing, much less Harry. Harry started giving instructions to the people. Everyone, start separating yourselves into groups by the type of elements you have. Warrior mages will form 2 groups of main force. 1 to defend the silver sphere and 1 to obtain the other sphere. The wood element and wind element mages along with the warrior team will act as scouts. Earth mages will divide into 2 groups to provide 2 lines of defense. Water mages are responsible for support on all the groups, with both attack and defense. Fire elements also join the main attack force and leave 3 people here at the cave. Archers and the rest of wind elements along with metal elemental mages will lay an ambush at this spot. Harry indeed took a good command position as he instructed everyone as he showed them the directions through the map that was given by the elders. The map is the layout of the current battlefield. After Harry is done with the basic instructions, everyone started preparing for the departure. When the place near the map is somewhat cleared, Sam made his way to the map and started looking at it. Wait, what about him? Someone asked as she pointed at Sam. This person is none other than the girl who challenged Sam. The one who asked about the formations. Sam looked at her with a surprised expression. He didn't expect she of all people would mention him at this point. But Sam didn't say anything, he just stared at the map, as if he didn't care at all. What about him? Harry asked from the side. Many people also started getting curious. They forgot about Sam when they are busy listening to Harry's instructions. You do know that he defeated all the people here single-handed, right? The girl said to Harry as if waiting for him to explain. He is not suitable for the team. We can do better if he doesn't get involved. Harry said as he averted his gaze. He really didn't want Sam to get involved in this operation, as he didn't want him to get any credit. So, he is using the power he had as the leader to oppress him. He waited for Sam to object him, but the one who has objected him is another person. It is none other than Sean. Are you kidding me, Harry? You are going to keep him out of the team, just because you got your ass beat. Sean didn't hold back at all, as he revealed Harry's true intentions. Sean looked at Harry with disdain. He took down almost all 50 of us in a single strike, and you are saying that he is not suitable for this battle. Sean said again before Harry could reply. Harry only snorted in reply. Then Sam suddenly turned around and walked towards the cave entrance, as though the topic is not related to him. Just as he was about to leave the cave, somebody shouted, Wait. Sam halted his footsteps as he turned around and saw the girl from earlier is walking towards him. She stopped in front of him and spoke. I am Melissa. Should we team up for this round? She asked Sam with a polite tone. Sam looked at her as he examined from top to bottom. Even though she is not as beautiful as the three goddesses, she is still a rare beauty. She tied her long hair into a ponytail as she wore a battle attire. Sam examined her as he asked, Why? I think your skills are more helpful in this battle, she said without hesitation. But Sam's reply stunned her. No. What I am asking is, why should I team up with you? Sam's question stumped not only her but also all the other candidates. As he saw she wasn't replying, Sam was about to leave. Then she stopped him and said, I am the daughter of the formation tower head. Even though I am not a ranked formation master, I can assist you in laying the formations. Sam looked at her and said, You can come with me. But you have to follow my instructions. Sam said as if he wasn't going to accept no as an answer. Melissa nodded and both of them started walking. But they were halted again by another person. This is none other than Sean. Jack is standing beside him. Sam looked at Sean with a questioning gaze filled with displeasure. His face said that, if Sean didn't give proper explanation, he is going to beat him up. Well, you see. We don't like this hairy guy, so can we follow you? You don't have to worry. I am genius, and my friend here is also not bad. We won't drag you down. We will follow all your commands, Sean said with a wide smile. Sam shook his head and said, Suit yourself. Then the four of them left. Matthew hesitated, whether you should follow them or not, but he decided against it. Harry gritted his teeth in anger as he saw four of them leaving. He felt that he lost a lot of face, as they rejected follow his command. There are only 4 people, we don't have to care about them, Harry said to the rest of the freshmen and again started assigning the tasks to them. At the viewing platforms, the city lord shook his head in disappointment. Right now, there are no younger generation people here as they all joined in the 3rd round in the seniors team. All the spectators are watching the scene. Meanwhile, in the cave similar to the one fresh were in, the seniors are discussing the plan. The one in the center is Philip as he instructed everyone. Even though Philip is one of the lower cultivation level persons at level 5 acolyte, he is known for his strategies, and all the seniors gave him the command. He concluded arranging the tasks and then said, If you find anyone wearing black and doesn't have any armor and wields a bow or a staff, don't engage unless there are 3 people in the group, and all of you have to be at least male stage acolytes. Otherwise, just turn your tail and run to meet other teammates, leave whatever task you are doing and inform others, Philip said in a solemn tone. All the seniors felt a little puzzled and someone asked, Philip, who is this guy, that you gave him such high valuation? What is his cultivation level? Well, we can be considered friends. As for his cultivation level, he must be at level 3 acolyte stage, Philip said with a smile. HMPH, just a trash at level 3 acolyte. He is mine. Everyone, if you encounter him, capture him and I will trade for him with you for 1,000 spear stones, Carl said from the side as he left along with his squad. Philip only shook his head and said, I am not trying to exaggerate here. He killed a blazing earth bull which is at level 2 initial stage in a single punch, when he is at only 9th level of initiation stage. You can understand how great his combat prowess is. As far as I know, he is a warrior mage now on a fire tribute. I don't know his full prowess, but he has many tricks up his sleeves. If he just wants to escape and survive until the end, with his speed, nobody will be able to stop him, Philip said in a grave tone. Then he let everyone disperse, and only Philip, Marvin, Paul, Freya and Haley are inside the cave looking at the map. Haley, who do you think the commander of the freshman team will be? Philip asked. I think Harry will take the charge, Haley said with certainty. Then what do you think Sam's position will be in the team? He asked again. According to my understanding of his character, he won't give Sam any position which will help him take more credit, Haley said. If he hinders Sam for at least half of the time, that would work for our advantage. If he can't even use an excellent trump card like Sam properly, then he is really foolish, Philip said as he shook his head. If Sam's movements are restricted and dragged down by the team, we will win without much trouble, Marvin said. Rest of them also nodded. But they didn't know that Sam is completely let loose, and he didn't have to follow any orders at all. He is right now at the river which divided the territories of both the freshmen and the seniors. Sam looked at the stone path which is the only safe way to cross the river. He observed it as he looked out from the river bank. Melissa, Sean and Jack stood behind him as they just looked at him doing weird observations. Do you know what place this is? Sam asked them as faced them. This is the dividing line of the territory. Harry said that there is only this one bridge to cross the river safely, and the river is filled with dangerous water-bound beasts, Melissa said. Sam then nodded and continued. Right now, both team scouts are making their way here slowly, so that they won't leave any tracks behind, but we don't have to do that because we are not using this to cross the river, rather, we are using this to trap them, Sam said and turned towards the bridge. Sean, can you destroy the path? Sam asked nonchalantly. The 3 of them furrowed their brows as they heard Sam's words. Seeing his expression, he didn't seem to be joking. Sam, isn't it a bit risky? Melissa slowly asked. You don't have to worry about it. I have another way to cross the bridge. Judging by the speed, the main squads won't come near the bridge until the late morning, and even the scouts take few hours. Now, both the teams will use the darkness as the cover to place the traps. So, don't worry. I have my plans. Sean, make it as smooth as possible without much noise. Sam instructed. Sean couldn't do anything and used his earth elemental control to completely drown the stone path. Sam then took out a few corpses of the blood hyena and dropped them in the river where the path is used to be. Soon a large number of alligator-type beasts gathered near the meat. These are the river gators and a water-type beast. Right now, all the beasts are at level 2 middle stage. When they saw 10-something river gators coming, they slowly stepped back. Only Sam remained there as he looked at the river gators, which were slowly making their way onto the land. Suddenly Sam released a peculiar aura which all the other people couldn't comprehend, but they saw all the river gators stop in their tracks and prostrated in front of Sam, as if paying respects. Sam released his golden crow bloodline power. Before the three could understand what is happening, Sam gave some commands which made them stupefied. Relay my commands to all your kin. No one should carry the river easily. Anyone who dares to cross the river from this area should be stopped by you guys. You can only let them cross it if your life is in danger. Otherwise, don't let them cross at all. 1 mile on both sides is your job to guard, do you understand? Sam commanded the river gators as he is commanding his own subordinates. But even more shocking thing is that all the river gators nodded their heads excitedly. Sam then took out all the corpses of the blood hyenas and gave them to the river gators. This is your compensation for guarding the river. If you guys have a life-threatening danger, you can stop the duty. You don't have to keep your life online. Now let us cross the river, Sam said, and as soon as he did, the biggest of all the river gators walked forward and entered the river. Sam and others stepped on its back. Then the river gator swam across the river and left them at the other bank of the river. Even after the beast left, Melissa and others were still in daze as they couldn't understand the situation. After crossing the river, Sam and the other three separated to scout for a while to find a temporary safe point. After finding a safe point, where they can avoid the both teams, Sam and others sat in a circle as they discussed the plan. There is an open field which has to be crossed to arrive at the cave of the opposing teams. I think in a while after the first batch of the scouting teams of the seniors team returned to the base after they searched their territory, the main attack force and support force will move to take advantage in the dark. There is a narrow pathway which is the only route for entering and exiting the path as the trees are denser, and the other two sides are territories of 2 beast packs. One side is the lair of the dark wind wolves, and the other side is the territory of the myriad illusion snake. Sam said as he started drawing the outline of the map on the soil. The other three had serious expressions as they're trying to comprehend how to utilize the information. Well, at least 2 are trying, while the other one is already speaking as soon as Sam finished. Oh Sam, your drawing skills are good. Even though they are not as good as mine, they are okay, Sean said with a narcissist smile. All 3 of them looked at him with speechless expressions. Sam looked at the calm and collected Jack and then looked at Sean, then said to Jack in a pitying tone. It must have been hard on you to handle this guy. Jack first time had a change of expression as he looked at Sean and then at Sam. His face was filled with helplessness as nodded his head. Sam then abruptly stood up and kicked Sean, who sat on his left side, on his butt. Sean fell face first into the soil as a lot of sand went straight to his mouth through his Isekai grin. Sam, that's a bitch move. What has my handsome bum has ever done to you for punishing it? You must have been jealous of my butt. Seeing that yours is bony. Sean stood up and roared at Sam furiously. Sam didn't say anything and instantly disappeared and kicked Sean on his butt again as soon as he appeared behind him. This time Sean was a little prepared and avoided the face first fall as he supported himself with his hands. Just as he was about sighing relief, another kick landed on his bum, and Sean rolled on the ground. PFFT. Melissa couldn't hold on anymore and laughed as Sam kicked Sean repeatedly on his butt. Meanwhile, Jack is looking at Sean, who actually felt quite vexed and helpless. Seems like I need to employ the same method in the future, he thought. Truce, truce. I will hear you and won't speak for the rest of the plan, Sean immediately told as soon as he understood why Sam literally kicked his ass. Sam nodded and then moved towards the drawing he drew and continued. Actually, Academy arranged the layout of the cave vicinities almost same. For our freshman team cave, we have to pass through a narrow path inside a bamboo forest. The both sides of forest are also occupied by 2 beast packs. One is black maned gorillas, and the second one is the wind-tailed panther, Sam said. Listening to this information, the 3 felt surprised. Previously, when Harry explained the plan, he also pointed out the lairs of the various beasts. But they didn't notice this peculiar similarity between the layouts. Ignoring their thoughts, Sam continued. The thing is, the Academy wants to see how the participants are going to face the situation when we have to face the enemies head-on from a single direction. When the team members move from the cave and cross the narrow path, they will enter the open field I mentioned. Between the 2 open fields, there is a complex forest which is equally divided into 2 halves. All of them nodded as they understood the basic layout now. How are we going to proceed in the competition? Are we going for the sphere or for the kills? Jack asked the question. Melissa also nodded as if she also wanted the answer, and looked at the Sam's handsome face. Sam had a mischievous smile on his already devilishly handsome face, which gave him a unique evil charm. Of course, we are going for the kills. Even if we manage to get the sphere from the senior teams, we cannot reach our team's sphere and merge them ourselves. The entire team is against us. Sam said as if it was obvious. The three have very different expressions. Jack nodded as if he expected the answer, and Sean had an expression as if he trying to listen to everything with an incredible concentration. Melissa was surprised by the decision. Sam then looked at her and explained. Even though you might think that stealing is a better method as our numbers are low, you are forgetting something. What matters to us right now is points. The more points we get, the higher the ranking will be. The elders won't expect us to win the battle anyway, Sam said with a faint smile. At least in this way, we will have our individual rankings a bit higher. Sam finished. Okay, what is the plan? Melissa asked. The thing is, the senior team has an advantage in the cultivation level, and they clearly know about the beast territories, and won't take any measures to defend there. Same goes for the freshman team. But the senior team don't know that we are completely by ourselves, and they won't expect to act against the norms. What we will be doing is that we would set a very basic trap at the exit of the narrow patchway from this side, and conceal it with the concealment formation. As far as I know, some noble family candidates who sought performance may be cautious against me using the attack formations. But we are not going to do this. Sam paused and then turned towards Jack and spoke. You have to guide Sean to do something according to the instructions I will give, as I will leave along with Ms. Melissa to get something. You guys have to be careful. Jack agreed and Sean only nodded his head. We will move as soon as the main force and their support leaves the ground. We will lay the trap and flush the defense team, as well as the defense support outside towards the trap. How are we going to do that? Melissa asked Sam. You will see. But first go and get your hands on as many bird-type beasts as you can. You have to kill it in a cleaner way as I need their blood. I will collect some necessary herbs. Sam said and moved. The rest of the teammates also moved. After an hour, Sam and others met at the same point. Sean, make a pit of 2 feet deep and 1 meter wide. Sam said and immediately took out some odd-looking grass-like herbs which are in red color. Sean made a pit and Sam started crushing the herbs, and the rest followed suit, and a red-colored fluid came and poured them in the pit. After crushing all the juice from the grass, Sam said again, extract blood from all the birds and fill the pit. Everyone got to work and started filling the pit with blood. When the work is done, Sam gestured them to get back from the pit, and started heating the blood and plant juice mixture with a golden flame. After some time, a pleasant fragrance came from the pit, making all feel strange. Don't breathe, hold your breath. Sam's shout made their minds clear as they immediately held their breath and tried to calm their minds. Soon Sam finished and collected the liquid of this in a big leather bag used to carry water. He stored all of it inside various bags and kept them away in rapid pace. Then only all of them released their breaths in relief. We will be going. By now the main attack team will be gone. We need to move as soon as possible, before they take any preventive measures. Sam said and moved. The rest hurriedly followed even though they have many questions they wanted to ask. At the viewing platforms, what are the 4 kids doing? They're hunting bird-type beasts, and that guy is collecting that weird grass. Oh, they finally met. What are they doing? Are they making any concoction or something? What is the mixer? Judging from their looks, that seems to have some weird effects on them. Everyone is discussing the weird actions of Sam and his group. Only a few people who are knowledgeable are having some thoughts about Sam's plans. But even they felt a bit confused. Actually, Sam got this knowledge on how to use this grass from the bestiary, as it is something only available near the Myriad Illusion Snake territory. Not many people know how to use it more effectively. Sam and others moved fast but stealthily as they finally reached the area near the exit of the narrow path. They could faintly see the tracks left by the attack team and the support team. Sam guessed that there are at least 40 people moving. Sam and others halted and checked whether there are any traps or ambushes left by the team. When they found that there are no traps, Sam felt that something is not right. Then suddenly Melissa spoke. Actually, it is not common to use basic traps in battle, as the cultivators can sniff them out easily. That is the reason. I am also waiting for the kind of trap you are going to set up. Sam nodded and started his command. Sean, you have to dig pits at least 12 feet deep in all the points I am going to mark. The pits should in circular shape, with at least 1 meter diameter. We have to finish it as soon as possible. If I am not wrong, the next batch of scouts will be coming in search for the tracks of the main attack force of the freshman team. I will lay down the concealment formation. Then you guys can proceed. Sam finished laying the formation in a few minutes. This speed dumbfounded the other 3, especially Melissa. She saw the speed only when her father laid down a very basic first rank formation. But her father is a rank 2 formation master. When Sam is done, he ignored their surprise and said with a faint smile, you guys should proceed. Jack, cover for them. Melissa, as soon as Sean finished a pit, you use your water element and make a swamp inside. The swamp should make them struck at least knee deep when they fall from this height. Melissa, after you are making a swamp, you should drop all the liquid inside the pit. Sean, after you are done with this, you are going to close the mouth of the hole with a very thin layer of soil. It shouldn't even have any traces of being dug out. Sam finished saying and Melissa immediately asked, Sam, do you really think these common traps will work? Sam smiled and didn't answer her immediately. Then he looked at the dark sky and said, Ms. Melissa, when a person thinks he got stronger, he starts ignoring the most basic threats. Now, the seniors will be thinking they are stronger than us, and in fact it is true. So, it is natural to become a little complacent. We are going to use it against them. They wouldn't expect us to use these basic traps. They might even think that we may use an attack formation as they knew about me. But they wouldn't expect me doing this. And the concealment formation is a visual type. So, they can't see any difference, and all they can see is the area before we set the traps. You will understand when they come. He paused and then addressed all three. Out of 10 pits we dug, total 4 are mine, and the rest are yours. They nodded their head. Actually, they are not really counting on these traps. Okay, Sean and Melissa, please finish this as soon as possible. Jack, do you have any long-range attacks at your disposal? Sam asked. Jack nodded his head and didn't say anything else. Sam also didn't pursue and started making preparations, and took out another type of plant, and started making juice out of it. They didn't ask him anything and just let him be. Sean and Melissa are efficient and completed this in half an hour. Sam also finished his preparation and said, You guys hide in the trees and stay away from the pits for some time. I will lure the people out as soon as possible. Sam said and was about to leave. Will you be able to do this alone? If you want, we can help you. Melissa asked and Jack also looked at him. Sam just shook his head and left with a smile. Melissa fell into a daze as she looked at Sam's handsome smile. Sam didn't notice and started moving towards his next destination. Meanwhile at the viewing platforms, all the spectators also quite puzzled as they saw the actions of Sam and his group. One of the noble elders sneered. These guys are still too naive to think that these common traps would work. They really think that they can win themselves. They're too Isekai to leave young Master Harry's leadership. This guy is one of the elders from the City Lord mansion. City Lord also nodded and said, They really are naive. Particularly the young man in black named Sam. He is strong, but if he can think that he is strong enough to take on all the people at the senior team with his little group, he is really foolish. I don't really think he is fit enough to join the Starwood Academy with that thinking of not joining a team. City Lord spoke as he looked towards the Starwood Academy's viewing platform. All the nobles immediately caught on what he is implying. The City Lord wants to deal with Sam and wants him to not enroll in the academy. If he gets into academy, he will be under the academy's protection, and making a move against him is provoking the entire academy. All the nobles immediately started singing the same tune as City Lord and said, City Lord is right indeed. This guy is ruthless and ambitious at the same time. He left the team to gain all the credit himself. He really is unfit to join the academy. The Crimson Flame family head said, I think the City Lord is right. Me too. All the noble family heads agreed. Only the 4 tower heads and the Evergreen family are just watching in silence. I wonder what the principal thinks. City Lord asked all of a sudden and everyone became silent. All the nobles who spoke earlier are waiting eagerly. The principal didn't speak and just watched the projection. Seeing the City Lord said with a much colder tone, I hope the principal will make a wise decision. This is a hidden threat. All the people understood that City Lord is quite serious. It is not your place to decide who should or shouldn't join the academy. Isn't this right, City Lord? The principal directly spoke after City Lord threatened him. Everyone who spoke up earlier immediately shut their mouths. City Lord just snorted and didn't speak either. Look, he is entering the wolves' territory. Someone spoke from the crowd, and everyone immediately turned their attention back to the projection and were quite surprised. Sam is indeed entering the Dark Wind Wolves' territory near the senior team cave area. The Dark Wind Wolves are of dual elemental attribute, darkness and wind. Sam is going to use these wolves against the senior team. Sam waited for some time and moved as soon as sky brightened a little. Dawn came. He moved deep inside the territory and soon found out the main lair of the wolves. Sam hid his aura completely and observed the wolves from a hidden corner. He saw the alpha of the pack, which is at the late stage of level 2. All the wolves are close to it. All the wolves are just waking up one by one slowly as dawn broke. Sam looked at them and immediately took out several small glass bottles, which are filled with a green fluid. This is the plant juice Sam made while setting the traps. Sam gave an evil smile and started his preparations. Meanwhile at the freshman cave, Harry and only another person were left in the cave as he sent everyone else outside. He walked towards the platform and took the silver sphere and kept it inside a leather pouch and hung it to his belt. He then turned towards the other guy and said, Build a thick earthen wall. The other guy was quite nervous and just nodded his head. After that he used a spell, and an earthen wall was formed in front of the platform hiding the platform. After it was done, Harry nodded and said, You better keep your mouth shut. Then he walked outside along with the other guy. When they came out all the other freshman candidates are waiting outside for them for some time. Matthew looked at Harry and asked, What is the delay for? Nothing, we were building an earthen wall as an extra defense, Harry said casually. No one doubted him, and Harry, along with another 30 members including Matthew, started moving together. They were the attack team of the team, and the scouts team and ambush teams already left. There are only 20 people left at the cave. Even though many objected that 20 is very few and are not enough, Harry didn't listen and just kept them here, and another 20 people were left at the edge of the open field, and remaining people were scouts and ambush squad. Harry didn't mention the sphere at all to the others, because he has another motive. The points for merging the sphere are 50, which exceeds another people by large number if he did it. He didn't really trust his team members that they would let him do it, that is why he took the sphere along with him. If his team members know, they wouldn't agree, as it is dangerous to take it outside, and it would help the senior team if they knew. But the senior team knowing is quite impossible. Or so he thought. As soon as everyone left the cave and started walking, a team of 3 emerged from within the soil behind the earthen wall. We should thank these freshmen, really. Particularly that guy Harry. He made it a lot easier for us. One of the 3 said. This Harry really won't change. He only cares about himself. If he had used that guy in black, we would have a difficult time, another guy said as he shook his head. He is from the Evergreen family, and he also saw the second round along with other noble children. Who is that guy actually? Even Philip said to stay vigilant. The remaining person spoke with curiosity. Well, he is a friend of Philip and came from the Lava Rock village. He is not only monster in battle, taking on multiple opponents at the same time. He is really proficient in archery and also formations. You guys didn't see what he did in the second round. He actually defeated the top 100 all by himself using formations. And from the rest of the top 10, 4 guys including Harry, all gave up even before they fought. The guy from the Evergreen family said. He really is good then. Judging on this Harry's character, he must have held grudge against him, and didn't give him proper opportunity, and kept him in Scout's team or something. The other guy replied. Okay, it is time. We need to send the information to Philip and the attack squad to intercept Harry and his team. We are going to win this easier than we thought. As soon as he finished, all 3 of them entered the tunnel. Then they emerged behind the cave. There are about 7 people waiting for them. This is the scout squad who are responsible for scouting the main base of the freshman team. The 3 people who entered the tunnel are late-stage Earth Elemental Mage acolytes. The decision to infiltrate the territory when it is still dark is very beneficial to them. As soon as they relayed the information to the rest of the 7 members, a guy took out a paper and wrote everything. Then he took out a bow and arrow. He tied up the paper to the arrow and shot it towards the bamboo forest. He is a wind element mage warrior. The arrow tore through the wind as it smoothly reached a tree and struck to it. A guy emerged from the dark and took the paper from the arrow and shot it again in a certain direction where another guy picked it up. These guys are from the second scout team. Actually, Sam made a mistake of guessing that the scout team still haven't crossed the river. They crossed the river even before he broke the stone path. So, 20 people slipped through and sent the information to the base, and then to the attack squad. The attack team of seniors has 20 people only. But more than half of them are late stage and other at least a peak of middle stage acolytes. Most of them are warrior mages. By the time the information came to the attack team, they are almost nearing the river crossing. The leader of the team smiled as he spoke. The team leader of the freshman team is just as we predicted, Harry, the son of the city lord. The information says that the silver sphere is with him, and even his team members doesn't know it. We can finish it quickly if we cross the river and set an ambush at the other side. The others also became excited as they moved faster, but when they saw the river crossing, they immediately dropped their excitement. There is no usual stone pathway over the river, is not there. The team leader gritted his teeth and said, we have to cross this as soon as possible. Let us go. Water elemental mages and warrior mages, you guys move first. 5 people of the 20 moved. 4 of them are water element mages, and the 5th one is mage warrior. All of them are a peak of middle stage except one person who is at the late stages of the acolyte. All 4 of them entered the water as they moved and reduced the water resistance by controlling the water flow. The rest of the team are also following them from behind. When they are in the middle of the river flow, suddenly a river, they stopped moving. All the members gulped down loudly as they looked around nervously. They're surrounded by the river gators. Suddenly, all the river gators attacked and started biting them. Move, the team leader shouted as they tried to retreat. But they are quite slow and are far away from the both sides. Then they decisively moved forward while fending off the attacks from the river gators. After a desperate struggle, they got an opening. But a guy screamed, shit. Vile beasts, he screamed as he broke his token and disappeared, then followed by him other 3 people including 2 women, also broke their tokens. All 4 of them are fire element users. One of them is even warrior mage. All of them are late stage. The rest of the team members cursed under their breath as they started moving hysterically towards the other side. By the time they reached the other side, they lost another teammate, and only 15 people were left in the team. Shit. These wild beasts. I want to kill them all. A guy shouted as he stood up. Stop, we need to move towards a safe place. We have to engage the attack team as quickly as possible. The team leader stopped the guy and led the rest of them to the forest. At this moment at the viewing platform, all the spectators are whispering while glancing at the city lord. They are really disgusted by Harry's actions. By the time they're getting heated by the discussion, they saw the scene of attack team getting attacked by the River Gators, and 5 of them getting eliminated. Their jaws drop. They saw the scene when Sam commanded the River Gators, but they never expected this to actually work. Then they saw the change in the scoreboard. There are 5 points next to Sam's name. The first one to gain points is Sam, a freshman instead of any senior. How can the attacks by the River Gators count as his points? An elder from the City Lord mansion shouted. He commanded the beasts to attack and they obeyed. Thus, they are his subordinates, we can even call them as his weapons. So, naturally the points are his. Even the formation spirit of the testing grounds accepted it. Why, do you have a problem? An elder from the academy's platform said. Everyone became silent and didn't speak. Then suddenly scoreboard changed again as points appeared beside 10 members of the senior team. Then everyone noticed that the scouts team of the seniors team at the cave attacked the defense and took them out. Only one guy from the freshmen is left. He is none other than Oliver. He is left out as his fingers are not completely healed. The elder said that he needs to rest the fingers for at least a month before he can fight or do anything else. That is why he was left here and used as watchman for the cave. One of the seniors questioned him. Do you know Sam? Yes, he replied in a shaky voice. As soon as he heard the name, he involuntarily broke into cold sweat. He himself didn't notice, but the seniors did. They patted his shoulder and said, "Where is he now? Which area is he assigned to?" The senior asked again. Oliver forced himself to calm down and said in a low voice, "He is not participating with the team." The seniors frowned and asked, "What do you mean?" Then Oliver recounted what happened and the seniors' mood became gloomy. "We need to inform this to Philip," one of them said and took out a paper. But they don't know it would be too late. Meanwhile at the wolf's lair, Sam finally finished his preparations and started moving. He has a very small glass container in each hand as ran towards the wolf pack. Sam then threw the containers and took out another one from the storage. Just like that, before the wolves could react, he threw a lot of containers with the green liquid. The black wolves with blue eyes all inhaled the green vapors emitted by the green liquid and started shaking with irritation. They looked at Sam, who was running, and all the wolves including the alpha started chasing him. Sam ran at a fixed pace. He is visible to the wolves, but kept a constant distance between them. He ran straight towards the cave of seniors team. After running for a while, suddenly the cave entrance came into his view, and he increased his pace. Philip, the wolves are chasing someone, he is leading them this way. Someone who was on the watch duty outside the cave ran inside and said. Philip and others ran outside and saw. They didn't recognize Sam. Because Sam changed his clothes and covered his face. He ran in the front and the wolves followed. There's a total of 30 people inside the cave, and all of them came outside and looked at the incoming wolves with fear. When they looked at the guy in front, they all want to greet all his ancestors for luring the wolves here. Philip looked at the team members and said, "This guy is definitely a freshman. He must have provoked the wolves accidentally and brought them here. We need to take the sphere and move out of this place. Let's go." All of them went inside and then stared the screen in dumbfounded manner. They looked at 5 names which are dimmed. They were all from the attack squad. Damn, if there are already people from the attack squad who got eliminated. Someone said through his teeth. Philip also felt quite surprised. But he didn't dally and said, "Paul, take the sphere. We have to move quick." All the defense team at the cave moved towards the narrow path, and then met with the other defense team which has 20 members. Now all 50 members started moving towards the narrow path. Even though they have 50 members, the thought of fighting the wolves didn't even cross their minds. They just kept on fleeing. But how can they be faster than Sam and wolves? Soon Sam along with the wolves met the group. The group, which is orderly, suddenly became chaotic mob, and all of them started fending the wolves as they ran towards the path. Sam removed the clothes covering his original attire and threw it away. Then he took out a big glass container which contained the same red liquid he made and threw it in the middle of the battle, as he held his breath. The wolves and the candidates all started feeling dizzy as they took in the vapors emitted by the red liquid. Philip looked at Sam and the liquid he threw and immediately cursed. "Fuck, hold your breaths and move out of this area," he said as he moved towards the narrow path and entered it with great difficulty. Sam moved to the back of the battlefield and didn't follow them towards the path. He looked at the people who fell unconscious on ground along with the wolves. The wolves' cultivation is not enough to make them as intelligent as humans. Yanwu is intelligent because of his high-grade bloodline. As soon as the red fumes dissipated, Sam moved towards the unconscious seniors. Out of 50, half of them fell unconscious. The beasts all fell unconscious because they aren't intelligent enough to hold their breath. Sam slowly broke the tokens of seniors. They disappeared and Sam looked at the wolves and pondered. Then he shook his head and dismissed the idea as he walked inside the narrow path. Sam came out of the other end of the path and looked at Melissa, Jack and Sean. Melissa has a cheerful expression, and Sean has a grin. Only Jack is calm as ever. Sam looked at the pits and slowly took a detour around them. He then looked at Melissa and asked with a smile, "How is it?" Then only the 3 noticed Sam and almost jumped out of their skin. "Sam, you are not handsome as me." So, if you surprise people like that, you will scare them to death, Sean said in a vexed tone. Both Melissa and Jack looked at him speechlessly. Sam didn't speak and kicked him on his butt directly. Sorry. Just as Sam was about to continue, Sean pleaded. Then Sam slowly walked towards the pits and looked at the people inside. The seniors inside are all cursing. Damn it, we fell into their traps. We are done for. Who came with this despicable idea? I want to kill them. Actually, all the seniors are unconscious this time. As even though Sam and others dropped the liquid, it has been a long time and their effects will be reduced even though the hole is closed. That is why seniors are just feeling weak instead of unconscious. Sam slowly moved towards other pits and finally found someone. He looked into the pit. Coincidentally, all of Sam's friends are inside that pit. Philip, Marvin, Freya, Haley and Paul. All are looking at Sam with angry looks. Even cold as ice, Haley is looking angry. Sam, can you be any more despicable? Marvin shouted from pit. Good to see you too. Sam spoke in sarcasm. Then he looked at Philip and said, Philip, didn't expect you to be the commander. Me too. I didn't expect you to be here. I thought based on Harry's character, he would try to suppress your involvement. Philip said as he smiled. Even though he is angry, he is in a better mood than other four. Well, you are not wrong completely. You guys just gave an unnecessarily high valuation to his intellect. He just said that, I don't need to be the part of the team and do however I want. Then he gestured Melissa and others to come and spoke as he pointed at them. These guys followed me and here we are, setting up half of the senior team. Sam finished. Hearing to what he said, Philip and others immediately want to be buried in the same pit. They felt that this year is the most embarrassing of all years for senior team's performance. I guess one thing right. You are indeed troublesome, Philip said and gestured to Paul, who took out the golden sphere out of his pocket and threw it towards Sam. Sam caught it and said, Thanks, I will treat you guys to dinner. So, don't hold against you, alright? Next time. At least let us fight you, man. You are too ruthless. You are not even giving us chance to fight and directly making us lose. Marvin complained from the side. Sam nodded and waved his hands. All of them took out their tokens and broke them. Sam's points increased by another 5. He then walked towards the other 3. He then said, You guys can take the other pits. I had enough harvest. And then he moved towards a tree and leaned against it to rest. The 3 nodded and walked towards another pit. Sean and Melissa took 7 points each, and Jack got 6 points. Then 3 of them walked towards Sam and also sat down as he waited for him to recover. As soon as Sam opened his eyes, Melissa asked, Sam, how did you do it? Sam smiled and replied, Actually, it is quite simple. The red grass is from a territory of the myriad illusion snake, and it only grows there. It is known as mind-numbing grass. If it is mixed with the blood of the bird-type beasts, which is usually warmer natured than the normal beasts, and heated up, it will make people unconscious. But it only works on acolyte level, and if the person is more vigilant, it might not even work. Then the green liquid is taken from another grass which also grows in the same territory. It is called turmoil grass. It will make the temper of the ones who inhaled it to immediately lose and attack their enemies in frenzy. I used it on wolves and lured them towards the senior team main camp. Then the rest you know. As soon as Sam finished, all 3 of them dropped their jaws. Not only them, even the spectators at the viewing platforms are all in uproar. Sam stood up and said, Don't you guys remember the words of the elder? Everything in the forest is our resource.